Welcome back to Inwardly with Sanjana. On this show, we've talked a lot about how silence and stillness can be cathartic for the soul. But today, we're going to do something different. We're going to talk about how shaking things up can actually sometimes be just what your soul needs. And joining me today to explore this topic is Pavitra Kunnamtori. Pavitra is a movement artist and she has explored various dance forms. Through her love for movement, she has found something sacred. Welcome, Pavitra, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Hi.
Hi. So I'm going to jump right in because I'm really excited for this conversation.
Me too.
Um, Looking back at growing up in South India in the 90s, I think you either went to a dance class or you went to a Carnatic music class. At least
Yes,
that was, what I experienced. Was it a similar story for you too?
very similar. I did join Bharatanatyam, and
Mhm.
initial bit of it was like a force because my mom, she just nudged me and said, "Just try the first class, and if you don't like it, I will never ever send you." But I
Okay.
tried, and it did not leave me till the time puberty hit, of course. But it was amazing experience to be in the whole community of Bharatanatyam dancing because I was little. I was hardly 7 or 8 years, and I had little friends. It was a brilliant experience than having, uh, you know, childhood friends which are not in line with what really you are stuck to or something that makes your heart and soul full. You will have friends, but you have friends which take you to that common goal where you all like it. So that's the part, or that's the area of my life where I started to make friends in dancing community. And always for me, it was the idea of how a group is performing rather than how I am performing because I've always done a lot of group performances compared to um, solo performances. And as a child, I was drawn to the idea of performing on stage. It gave me a next level thrill and adrenaline. So it was basically the idea of seeking perfection, to do what is right, to listen to the mentor, to be in that disciplined, manner, to be there at the rehearsal where you need to be there at that particular time. So we sort of transmitted those qualities into real life, and that really helped. And moving on, I have experience in contemporary dancing. That was in late teens, early 20s. Even there, I had magical experiences. I had beautiful mentor. Now she's in Kerala. Her name is Arunima Gupta. It was so beautiful to be guided by female mentors. It was always female mentors for me somehow in dancing. And contemporary gave me the idea of approaching and taking my body into spaces and to be fearless, where you can travel with speed, you can travel all levels, you can go and explore the stage, not just dance in one particular posture or a position, but you just the world is your stage was the concept for contemporary, and that really intrigued me. And moving on to the next level of my dance experience, it was fitness dancing. I was drawn to the idea of being fitter, fittest all my life. And Zumba happened, and I fell in love with it again until I got like diverted, and somehow belly dancing was sort of trying to suck me into that magical mystical energy. And then I could just pay attention to one whole thing, and belly dancing was something that was I couldn't take my eyes and mind and attention off. It was not like I like this and this. For me, it was belly dancing when that happened. Although in between, Kathak journey really changed my life again because it got me the aspect of stability and control and a lot of grounding. Again, female mentors. One of it was my friend, where I learned from her for a very long period of time, and now it's my mentor called Radhika. So it is crazy, the idea of how different dance forms can make that change and the way your body can evolve from one to the other. Now coming back to belly dancing, so this was all like a performative stage, need validation from the audience, wait for that final applause or standing
Right.
ovation, whatever it is. And this was all it, and it was, I think, need of the hour, because that itself gave us the confidence of, okay, we are good performers at the end, because we worked hard, we gave like our blood and sweat of rehearsing from day to night, and just going back home to sleep and eat and then come back, sometimes not even eat, sometimes just eat and share snack and then get back to dancing. It was a different kind of high, and even now if I think of it, it gives me like a very sweet sort of memory, and I get that beautiful smile on my face. I would definitely want to go back to it, but I think this is my inner child that loves to perform.
Yeah.
It got me over the period of time to check and to see how to accept your own self, and how to be authentic and be comfortable in your own body. Because yeah, it takes a lot to
Yeah,
appreciate
I'm
yourself,
sure.
and belly dancing did teach me that. And it was like a gift of authenticity that it has given me, and it's still ongoing. I have a long way to go, but yeah, it has started.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of dancers and artists say that at some point the form disappears and everything just vanishes, and it can almost become very meditative. And I was always curious about that because, generally you perceive a state of meditativeness to be calm and still where you're sitting in one place.
Oh, these are my two favorite things, topics, meditation and dance right now in this question, because I start my day with meditation, and then at the end of the day, somehow it leads to dancing at some point in time. But what happens in meditation here? It is where your body is still and your mind is playing reels, and you cannot stop, right? But when you're dancing, the body is moving, the mind does not have time to think, because the body is constantly moving from one to the other. I'm not saying choreography, technique, or something that requires training. Let's say we are playing a music, unknown instrumental music, and I ask my student to just move. And she just closes her eyes, he or she just closes her eyes, and that is where her thoughts are getting converted into movement. And here it is not coming from the place of impressing somebody, trying to look aesthetically beautiful, trying to make a point, need a validation from the teacher. No. It is where you and your thoughts are trying to blend in a have this beautiful relationship, and the outcome is the movement. So stillness in the body and mind playing constantly, body moving constantly, mind pausing, is a beautiful combination that I feel personally when I compare the two, because almost 8 to 9 years of this beautiful meditation journey that I happen to experience, and dancing forever, I think I'm trying to bring that relationship between the two. And at the end, to be honest, at the end, even if I experience meditation and dance again, not techniques and choreography, but dance like where you just shut the door and dance in your hall, right? At the end it comes to nothingness, and that's the beautiful state of being. This is what I get. End result of both is the same for me. It's that beautiful play of Shiv Shakti, where the Shiv is still and the Shakti wants to explore, and the Shakti can come back to Shiv anytime it wants to. But when it wants to digress and want to go away, like go wild, definitely it can go wild.
That's a beautiful analogy. I love it. Talking about Shiva and Shakti, I've heard that belly dancing actually has a lot to do with exploring the divine feminine. And traditionally, it actually focused on things like fertility and, well-being for women.
Absolutely.
Can you explain a little more about that?
Well, belly dancing is more than just fertility dance. It's basically, it starts from zero. It's dance of birth, it's dance of celebration, it's dance of menstruation, it's dance of weddings, It's a dance of fertility, and it's also dance of death.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because the story goes back into the whole idea of where these primitive societies in the Egypt, they used to gather in a place which is slightly elevated from the earth level, basically the hills, and they would just gather and dance, not to impress. Again, the same concept, right? Not to impress, not to show the techniques that all of us are trying to incorporate and chase at the moment, but it's just to dance and be thankful to be in that community, to live the joy, to live the vulnerability, and the pain, the happiness, all of it, the joy of being women, the whole. And this is just women gathering, okay? It's not anybody else in that hill. And it's also noted. They also mentioned this is all excerpts from a book that I'm telling you right now, which I have it with me right now. So they also say that the top, the hill of the earth, all the hills, it is noted to be the belly of the earth.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and why death? Because at the end, we all came from a belly, and we are going back to the belly of the earth.
Mm. Yeah, that's beautiful.
And there's a lot of grief, and there's a lot of emotions that one goes through when a loved one is passed away and they're not there in physical
Mhm.
space anymore, in physical realm anymore. So it is a cathartic movement for them to incorporate these hip and torso based movements, and they don't hold back. They cry when they want to cry. They want to move, they move. They just be seated and move the torso to process what has happened. Because even if you're prepared for somebody to lose in your family or loved one, you're not prepared until unless it's happened, and that's a lot. And
Mm.
in that whole process of, they beautifully mentioned that they wanted to just bring things out and just move and feel what is being supposed to be felt, instead of just keeping things under the carpet and suiting up to do something that is not related to what you're feeling. So yeah, even this has a very very strong story, and the way they have described it in the book is just marvelous. I'm just bringing it like very tiny bits of it, I don't know.
Yeah. Can you share the name of the book?
It's called Grandmother's Secrets. Look at her, so beautiful.
Okay. That is lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
and
I'm really curious and I want to read and learn more because these stories, as you're sharing them, they're just so fascinating.
you should. I finished the book. I think I revisited the book. I keep revisiting this book time and again because every time you read, there's a different perspective. And
Mhm.
this is my fourth or fifth time that I'm reading it, and I always am amazed that, oh my God, how did I not register this?
Yeah,
Because
it's a new
the way
learning every time.
every time. And there's this beautiful script. I just kept that. I always keep that in that talking about fertility, right? I always keep um, this really like, because I'm a mother and I have experienced this, right? So let me just read before I tell my
Oh,
story. It says the pain she feels in the back and in the sacrum are assuaged through the rolling and circling of the pelvis, as well as through the gentle shaking of the hips. In this way, her body is better able to absorb and then let go of the pain. So, this is a birthing story, and this is exactly my birthing story.
okay.
Yeah, 2nd May 2018. Can never forget, the most beautiful day of my life. And also, I was dreading because my 9 months journey, it was it was very very up there. The hormones play like the hero level role there. Like they're so hyper, we are hypersensitive. It it's very difficult to tame what is happening within. And also, you don't like certain things. For me, in my personal pregnancy journey, it was like I was very thinking twice to even step out. For me, crowded places was too much of a
Okay.
a trigger for me, and a lot of noise was too much. There's certain smells that I couldn't take. I couldn't even take smell of my mother-in-law cooking in the kitchen, so everything had to be shut. So this sort of drained me, saying, what is happening? This is not normal. Otherwise, physically, I was really doing well. There were best friends helping otherwise, and there was family, my mom, my aunt, my dad, everybody, my brother. They all helped me in whatever way possible. But I was like, what am I doing for myself and my
Yeah.
baby?
Sure.
And that's when dance came into picture, and belly dance. I was already a belly dancer then, right? So dance came into picture, and my meditation journey also started then, actually, to be honest. So dance happened, and then meditation entered, like at the most peak hormonal peak level of my life, which was so scary.
But also, maybe it was the best time for it to happen.
Yes, it should, because I was so scared, because there were a lot of thoughts running in my mind, and it is not normal to think all of those thoughts. And when you start that meditative journey, it is not easy, because the thoughts are rushing and gushing through all of your blood and veins and your mind, right? So you really need to stay stable and think that this is all imagination and nothing bad is going to happen, and start and churn that imagination and turn that imagination into something beautiful, which is
Positive.
where, yeah, something positive. And that is where belly dancing came into my idea, and I'm like, yes, I am going to dance. I got the approval of my doctor, thankfully. She said, please go ahead, you don't have to think about you. You're good, you can go ahead. It's not that you're
Mm.
sick and you don't have to lie down on the bed. I got that approval, I danced. Although I think most of them will not know that I danced until unless they listen to this podcast. I sort of manifested my mentor coming to Hyderabad. So she used to keep visiting. This was prior to COVID, right? So she used to keep visiting. She used to just come once a year. But during my pregnancy journey, I have no idea what happened. She almost came every trimester. I'm like, what is this? I
True
really,
manifestation.
and I didn't even know that there's something called manifestation back then. And it was so beautiful. And I got to perform. My inner child is also happy, It
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was very beautiful. I had this conversation with her just a few weeks ago, saying, I know everybody did everything for my pregnancy journey to make it safe, but you topped the chart because you bought that dancing factor in, like, flesh and blood for me, and I got to perform when I'm pregnant. So it changed, and I got to that answer to myself, saying, okay, I have done this, and I think now my baby is happy. Even when I used to dance back then, I used to feel his movements inside, and
Wow.
yeah, it is really, really precious. So my fertility, people keep contemplating about the idea of, is it fertility dance, or is it just for sexual connotation? Because there is every aspect that is coming to it, and nothing is wrong or right. There is something that black and white, and there's a gray area. So I
Yeah.
think I'm in that gray area where I agree that it's a fertility dance, and also agree that there was some other ideas related to it, which is not wrong. It is their own path. This was my path, and everybody has their own path to choose, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was the whole beautiful journey that I felt in terms of my 9 months journey. And on the day of my Labor Day, the day where I am on 2nd May, in the morning, my water broke, and it just happened, like, it felt like I went to the doctor's office, and or to the ward, like I'm going to attend some birthday party, like it was literally birthday party. Because I was not worried, I was so prepared, because my womb was prepared, I felt my child was prepared for that day. And I was dancing. So he was born on 2nd May. I think I was dancing till 30th April 2018, like the entire 9 months. It started off and ended off like that. And just 2 days after, I got him. And the entire day I did, even if pains came, I was moving, grooving, I was shaking my torso. There's something called ondulation movement, where the torso goes up to down like a snaky sort of a movement, right? And the hips rotation, the hips were moving, where you're completely, I still remember holding the bed and just rotating my hips. And it just gave me such beautiful sense of calmness, and the way I was handling pain at that moment. I didn't even take epidural, I did not take any painkillers, and the child just came out like he was born for it. Bad joke. Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful because see, the pains are horrible. I don't deny that it is crazy. I was lucky because I just got to experience hardcore pains just last 2 hours, but there are people who have it like more than 24, 48 hours, and even then this is just about pains, right? It's not this easy for everybody. I just thank whatever force has been blessing me in that entire journey. It was like a story for that I will never forget, and even I think my son also doesn't forget because I keep telling him while he's around, and he's like, I know the story that the day I was born, everybody came, Miri Masi came, Pinky Masi came, everybody came. I'm like, yeah, it was like a birthday party. Nobody was worrying. So my womb, my birthing process, all of it, my body, inside out was prepared, and I cannot take the fact away that it happened because of belly dancing.
That's beautiful. Um, yeah, I think it's so much to do with healing, though, because I think as much as we are exploring so much around healing, especially for women, there's so much today that talks about, we store all of our trauma in our hips. And there is so much talk about the tightness that we have in our pelvic region, which is contributing to hormonal issues and all sorts of problem that, women kind of face these days.
Right.
And so, hearing what you're sharing about how just that movement, I feel like it's so much of a release, it's so much of letting go. And then your
Absolutely.
body is coming back to a sense of just calm and quiet and safety and feeling like it's okay. And
Yes.
that's amazing that you found it through dance. Yeah, there's so many modalities. So I've been a lot into Pilates, and one of the first things that I learned was pelvic floor movement. Like that's the first thing that you're taught because it's so important. It's like the core of everything. And that
Absolutely.
simple movement when I started was so difficult. Like when I saw my trainer demonstrate it, I was like, wait, how do you do that? Like my body is not moving. It's different now over the years, but you know, some of us just end up holding that tension for so long, but
Yes.
that movement can be so healing. So I relate to what you're saying in a small amount. I do have a little bit of experience with that kind of movement.
And
So
it's not
it's,
like the body is not in a shock because it's already faced that feeling. It's not like an alien feeling that the body is going through, right? It's just coming up to the surface level. And how do you deal with that surface level feeling of, trauma coming? Oh my God, this is scary. I don't want to be in this space. It's okay if I don't talk about it. It's okay. I will just put it under the carpet. I will just go to work. No, that's not how it works. The body is very intelligent. You just have to trust it, follow the process. And if it comes onto surface level, what will we do max? We'll just cry it out. If the
yeah,
best
some sort of a release.
some sort of a release. Best thing, hydrate. Because if all of these emotion comes, you really need to hydrate well. Breathe, some chants. There are so many beautiful ways to, you know, face that level of things coming up to surface level. But at least it is
Yeah.
not hidden somewhere.
It's not inside somewhere. Yeah, it's rather come out than
You will
continue
be a
to hold
sensitive,
on.
the person will be like a sensitive human being at the end because if you keep suppressing things, nothing in the world will make you feel happy. Like right now happy because I'm sitting in my friend's house. Like this is making me so delighted. As simple as that. Like little things, right? So yeah, it's about being sensitive. And if you hold all of these emotions and not respond to your senses, it is there's no like juice in life anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think we miss out on that connection with our own selves. And
Yeah.
it's great that you found that through dance. And it's so nice to know that there are all these kinds of really beautiful modalities out there. So flipping the switch a little bit, you know, now that I've heard from you and also a little bit that I've heard and read about in the past, there's so many beautiful aspects to belly dancing and the way it's evolved over the years. But unfortunately, I think there's also a negative connotation that's been associated with it these days.
Very much.
We talk about it being just very sensual, and I've heard people refer to it as cheap and vulgar, and where is the need for women to do this? And it it's essentially not modest, based on many people's definition. So, how
Yeah.
do you navigate the weight of all these negative labels towards something that is so sacred and important to you?
Well, all I can say is I think modesty is overrated. You shouldn't be modest about something that you really love and something that has
Mhm.
really ingrained things in you. When you really love belly dancing, I can like it brings me back to the memory of how I convinced my parents that this is not cheap. This is something that my body loved from the very first time. This is how I have accepted myself. I was not even ready to compliment or take compliments from my friends. Like, even if I would get, hey, you're looking good, I said, my immediate response would always be, look at you. How can you tell me I'm looking good? Look at you, how beautiful you look. That was like a reverse thing. And it came from the bottom of my heart, to be honest, because all my friends are gorgeous. But it just felt like, okay, I cannot accept this yet. But belly dancing happened, and I started to accept it slowly. There was that one moment of revelation where my first, I think it was my beginner's belly dancing class when Meher came to Hyderabad in 2012. And she was teaching me that very famous step called Maya. It's the Shakira step, which she does in Hips Don't Lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, where most, like 90% of the population have opted for belly dancing because of Shakira or that step worldwide. I think the second most after Shakira is Meher Malik for me, because she got belly dancing to India, and the hardships that she has faced, the hard work that she has done, we are just doing like 0.0000001% of the hard work for whatever we are doing, but she brought it up, and that's why I almost see everybody doing belly dancing, which is so beautiful. So it was the whole idea of me trying to convince my parents that I'm doing this for me. You don't have to worry. I know my path. And there was this question that was asked by him, this saying, "What's your end goal in this? What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to teach." So I keep coming back to that moment of teaching, where I was doing Maya. That's the very first time that I looked at myself, my whole body, from the shoulder to down. Or else it was just like, either, as a Zumba instructor, you got to keep your eye on the students so that they are not doing anything wrong. Are they squatting properly? Are they walking properly? Are they positioning their selves properly to, ensure that they are doing it right and not hurting their body? So for me, it always, like I said in the beginning, it was always a we factor, and never a me factor. But that step, when I actually have a picture of it, I actually was looking at myself for the very first time, attempting that step. I'm like, wow, this is me. And
Yeah.
that's it. I was never looking back after that, because, and also, belly dancing is not just sensuality. It's not just, it is definitely like, you can dance and enjoy and touch yourself and move to songs like Zara Zara, or you can be very cute and peppy and dance to the songs like Arabic pop. Like, this is what happens when somebody signs up for belly dancing, right? We introduce the concept of Arabic pop, and all the techniques are very beautifully placed, where it's not overwhelming, even for a non dancer, in fact. So it's broken down to the T. And there are a lot of non-dancers also who are actually teaching belly dancing, and they've become dancers because of belly dancing. So yeah, Arabic pop's whole vibe is very cute, uppity, peppy, innocent, because the songs are also so pretty. Like, the lyrics are talking about appreciating the girl, comparing her to a flower, comparing her to the night sky, comparing her to the breaking dawn, and I don't know what, like comparing her to a deer's eyes. The way the deer walks reminds me of her. It is just so beautiful. The lyrics, if you do a proper translation on Google Translator, it will not like do
Do
justice.
justice. Yeah.
Yeah, and my mentor, she understands Arabic, because she's born and grown up in the Middle East. She understands this language to the T, and she understands the essence of it, and that's why she brings it, and she puts that essence and churns it and present it in a way where we are able to relate it, which is the Bollywood numbers. Very beautiful, classy Bollywood numbers, and all her song choices are crazy. Like Ore Piya, Diwani Mastani, and it is crazy. Like the songs where it feels like there are certain Bollywood songs that are made for belly dancing,
Yeah.
and yeah, it is so beautiful, and it's not just sensual. It can be anything. It has that whole platter. You can pick and choose whatever your mood is for the day. Like
Yeah.
my mood board today is sensuality. I will dance to like a song which is maybe Ang Laga De Re. Or if I want to do a very cute number, I will probably dance along with my son to a random song that he likes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has been that, and
So there are surely many flavors to belly dancing, and I think it just comes down to some of those narrow-minded approaches that tend to focus on one aspect, and not that that aspect is bad, but it's just about what people attribute to it.
on the other side of belly dancing, the costume that we wear, that is the first image that comes. Like there is no other way to go about. There's no second thought for people to judge. Okay, she's wearing. There's something called bedla. So we wear a two-piece. It's sort of a bralette and a skirt, a pencil skirt. The moment they see the artist in bedla, that's it. Judgment gets passed on.
Yeah.
But why is a belly dancing wearing a bedla? Nobody asks. It is because we have worked hard to show what we have worked all over the years. The movements are so intricate. It is at the skin level, at the breath level. It is impossible to dance belly dance in a kurta or an anarkali. Likewise, it's impossible to dance kathak in a belly dancing costume. So we have to suit the bill, right? It is impossible to be completely covered. Nothing can be noticed. Sometimes, even if the belly dancers are wearing bedla, the movements are so intricate and fast and tiny that even a naked eye cannot catch. It's that highly nuanced.
Wow. Okay.
And it's not just about femininity here. It's not just about femininity. It is about bringing in the at the end, as we deep dive into it, there is also tricks and different sort of movements that we do with sticks, which is so powerful. So we are in our feminine essence in our body, and we do tricks, and like we flip and hold them, we place it in our head and do a belly dancing movement. When I was
Wow.
mentioning about wedding, the belly dancer, they basically welcome the bride and groom, and the belly dancer dances by placing a shamadan on her head. It's basically a candle stand,
I
and
see.
she
Okay.
dances. Yeah, and she dances, moves her torso, hips. So it is a lot more than people uh, saying that it is this or it is that. I mean, you will only know if it is this or that when you dig deep and go really ahead in your research and study. You
Yeah.
cannot, yeah, you cannot just point a finger looking at a video or the person just because she's wearing a bedla. That's not fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with almost everything, like it's not about passing a judgment by having very minimal awareness or knowledge. I want to talk a little bit about your desire to teach. I think you mentioned when your father asked you, what's your end goal? You said you wanted to teach. So, how
Mhm.
did that passion come about? Why teaching?
Um, I always wanted to teach dance for some reason, because I had beautiful mentors in my life, and everybody were females. Like I said, they were so inspiring, and I thought maybe someday I will be that. And that was a 7-year-old child thinking that I will also teach dance. I don't know what, when, where, because I
Yeah.
definitely did not know that belly dancing would come my way when I was 7. But yeah, it happened, and the moment I finished my beginner certification, I knew that this was it. I literally remember telling this to my friend who has back then, where I went and said that I think I'm born to belly dance. That's a very powerful statement that I mentioned just by
Yeah.
attending a beginner certification. I was hardly there, I just went to him and said, I think I'm born to belly dance, bro. And then he says, my teacher, that you know what she just said. She said that she's born to belly dance. And
Yeah.
she's like, good, good. Let's see where this goes. And yeah,
Oh, that's
12 years of proper marination, long way to go. Although I feel that there is certain set of information that I know, I still learn. I have two mentors in belly dancing and one in Kathak, and on and off contemporary. But I feel that I know just this much, even now, after 12 years. Because even my mentors are still learning. And they've been doing, let's say, 7 or 8 years ahead of me. So it is an ocean, you know.
yeah.
It is just an ocean. The more you go deep, it will take lifetime for you to completely understand this.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, as you mentioned, there's so many nuances to it. It's not about just that 3 month certification or a 1 year certification or whatever, right? I think it's a lifelong journey of learning and also experiencing. And I think as your experience changes, the way you learn and understand and perceive something also keeps evolving with time.
Right. It's so difficult also. It's not easy to be in this journey of letting people know that they are in safe space, and when I'm offering them to learn, teach, or offer belly dancing. Because life comes in between, right? There's things that they need to do for their regular life, and passion or something that you really want to do that takes 10 steps back, you know. I only get to hear that, huh, I really wish I had time. No, I think you can do it. But then this is how I came into this concept. I understand life circumstances can not take you in a way where you really want to do things, and there are a lot of people who don't do the things that they really really want to do, and they just
Oh,
sit at work and something that is just paying and, you know, filling their bank account. But to really want to do something, I came up with this concept. I understand it's not easy in this race, in this high, expectation that the society has on us. We expecting things from our own selves. It gets impractical if you think from a normal lens, that why would I really put my heart and soul into something that has never been my calling. I've come, my passion and my desire has come from like really deep, and I cannot expect this to happen for all. But with this same passion and desire, I always promise this to my students, that I will take 5 steps to help you. Can you just take 2 steps for me? I'll be more than happy. So
yeah.
this is how I came up with this concept of Rocks Trio, where I only teach 3 people at a time, according to their required time, according to their required dates. I keep changing. We do not have a specific day or time. Everybody travels, they have work, they need to rest, the bodies need to rest, because I don't want to rush the process. The whole idea of dancing is not to prove something, not to reach an end goal, but just to be and learn something and be in that moment. But that cannot happen in this present uh, fast paced life for people who are not taking dance as a profession, right? It is completely understandable. So that is why I've taken this concept online. I teach, where I teach only 3 people together, and I churn it and turn the whole information and the offering based on their availability. And all I say is, I just need 8 hours of your time in 30 days, anytime. I need to be available, but there are 30 days in a month. Can you do just 8 hours for yourself?
Yeah.
And then being like, I think if you're putting it this way, I think it's doable.
Yeah. Yeah, then it almost seems unfair. Like, if you have to think about not being able to take even those hours for yourself in an
Yeah,
entire month, I think that's thought-provoking as to, okay, what am I really doing for myself and where is the rest of my time even going?
right. And I'm not even pitching this to people who are not interested. I only speak such things to people who are really pinging me and asking, and really I can see the sense, I can sense it, that how badly they want to, but their life is not able to give that time and space. And I just put this thought in them, saying I will be able to modify the timings, and I will be there available. I just need to be free at that moment, and you three need to decide when y'all are there at one time. I will log in. Just log in and
Yeah.
submit yourself for that 1 hour. The same thing happens in person, right? I do this hybrid model. I don't expect people to turn up every weekend, because weekends are precious, especially for office goers. You need to sit and do nothing. I completely appreciate that aspect as well, because I don't do it. But I'm like, at least you do it. you know of just sitting and doing nothing. So again, this idea came where they don't have to travel to the studio every Saturday. All they need to show up out of 4 Saturdays. So folks in Hyderabad, right? All the out of the 4 Saturdays, just show up for 2 Saturdays, and we drill to kill for 2.5 hours. Go back, submit your assignments whenever it's possible, and I'm there to give you all feedback. The journey is ongoing. It's slow, progressive. Instead of rushed and every Saturday, oh my god, I need to go to dance class. I can't go to my best friend's house. No, I don't want to do that. All of this is important in life, but even
Yeah.
dance is. So yeah, these are my. This is my offering, like providing that 5 steps, which is happening very naturally to me. I don't feel stressed or saying I'm coming 5 steps. You have to. No, this is naturally coming out of me because of the passion that I have. But all I expect is that 2 steps where you communicate and be available at that time and just show up. The rest, leave it to me. Your journey will definitely go ahead.
Yeah, because I think also with the offering that you're giving out, it's not a very typical format where you just okay, today's course is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we finish it. I think what you're offering requires people to come with a different level of openness.
Yes.
And even when we just talk about belly dancing, I think there's a whole other layer of vulnerability that you're asking people to step into. So it's not just about the physical movements, but it's a whole life journey. And like you said, there's a lot of it that's going within. It's about truly turning inward through this format.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's amazing that you're offering this in a very different way and not making it a tick in the box.
That's true. That's true, because it needs to flow. It shouldn't be boxed, like you said. And that's what the book says. I mean, I've read this book for more than 3 to 4 times. I think that is what is ingrained in me. I don't want to push it. I don't want to. I understand if you can't make it for one class, and I will not hold it against you. But I will
Yeah.
be there. If you really want to learn, I'll be there. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but that willingness should be there. So, but I'm ready to give that side
Yeah.
from my end. Yeah.
Yeah, you're offering that passion, and I'm sure the people who have a similar passion will find you.
Yes.
And
You're so right. People with similar passion, only have students who literally can resonate with what I'm feeling. I was teaching them a technique called snake arms, and I played like a snake or serpent sort of music. And I have that video in my phone. All it's the Rocks Trio batch that I was talking about. When I explain the concept to them, and when I ask them to just explore, first feel the snake in your arms. Like, just don't feel your arms. Feel that there are two snakes coming out, and how would the snake feel coming from your shoulder, left and right? Don't think shoulder, elbow, wrist. Think about, get the feeling of snake. And trust me, I did not break it down for them. And so beautifully they did. And that is when I broke it down for them. And I told them, this is exactly what you guys were doing. And
yeah,
all of these three beautiful women, when they were exploring, they had their eyes closed. It
mm,
just, like, I sort of welled up looking at them. I'm like, this is so beautiful. So yeah, I think the student base that I'm developing and getting, even if it is a few, they are true.
yeah, because I think also you're creating that safe space, and then people feel comfortable enough to, step into that and
Yeah.
not put up any walls while they're in that process with you, whether it's for, even a couple hours in the entire week. So it's amazing that you're able to create that and that you're bringing your passion to it and offering that to more people. So it's wonderful. And I'm really so amazed at this conversation because I've got to learn so much more. My understanding about belly dancing or dance in general, I would say, has been very limited. So this has been very enlightening, and I definitely want to explore more. So, yeah, I think that book is going to be top of mind for me.
Yes,
Thank
you
you,
should.
Pavi. This has been incredible. And thank you for sharing your story with me and everyone else. Yeah, so I think this is just, I think it comes down to truly understanding your own self. It's about stepping into that power. And especially as women, I think there is so much about accepting and falling in love with your outward form and doing that with grace and unapologetic presence. And the
Absolutely.
work that you're doing is certainly a testament to that. So thank you for sharing that today.
Thank you.
And
I think it's
yeah,
for me, dance has been the fastest way to unite to the union or the divine force above. And my prayer is dance. Like it's evening times if I don't get to light a diya and if I'm dancing, I just think to myself that yeah, I think I prayed.
yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And for those who are listening, I hope that this is inspiring and inspiring enough to just show you that there are so many modalities to finding your way into your own true self. So, with that, thank you, Pavi, and thank you all for tuning in. And I will see you next time.